So hey again everybody, thanks for tuning back into my YouTube channel. My name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and today is the 12th of February 2021 and it's time for Jonnychipz Weekly number 7. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Friday, it's time for another Jonnychipz Weekly. We're on number 7 now. Again, these videos, I think they're going great. Hopefully you're enjoying them. I'm certainly enjoying putting all the content together. I'm really just having a bit of a chat with everybody just on the goings on in my life at the moment in terms of my cloud journey, Azure Updates, cloud updates, the Welsh Azure user group, and of course the bits and pieces I'm just having a little potter around with on the edge. So yeah, I've got quite a lot again to get through. There's been a significant number of community call-outs this week. There's been a lot going on in the world of Twitter, and with all you fab community folk out there that have been kind of feeding me information, give me some good hints and tips over the week. So I want to call a few more of you guys out on this video. So without further ado, let's just jump straight on in, and we shall kick off with the Azure news and updates this week. So I mean, in short, there's been 10 updates. So we'll have a quick scan through them all. Like I said, I'm probably not going to go into any massive amount of detail in each one of these updates, but as we've got 10, it's probably something that's quite manageable in a short space of time. Okay, the first one that we've got available now is that Azure backup for the SAP Hana databases has had its soft limit increased from 2 terabytes up to 8 terabytes. So essentially what that means is that you can now protect and back up larger SAP Hana DBs. So that's an interesting evolution. Great to see. A new data center region is in development in Georgia, so it looks like we're going to have an East US 3, which is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if there's any dates on this article, but as always, jump onto the Azure Updates page and click around. You know, there's a Learn More button here. So that's great to see. Further expansion of the Azure data center regions, which is fantastic. Okay, Azure Databricks. It looks like they've achieved now the security level IL5 for Department of Defense and government. So, I mean, that's great to see. It just means another of Azure, one of Azure's services can be utilized in kind of highly sensitive and classified information fields such as the Department of Defense. And obviously that standard goes pretty global. So, I mean, have a read. It's really interesting stuff, but it's great to see the investments that Microsoft are making, obviously, to make all of their services approachable for, you know, right across the board, from small startup businesses right the way through to government and highly secure environments. So great work on that one. Okay, next one. Versions no longer required for Key Vault references in App Service and Azure Functions. So, yeah, I'm not 100%. I've not really read into this one myself, but it looks as though, I mean, we'll just read this through. So, references without a version will now be periodically checked for staleness. So, when there's a new version of a secret, when they find that in there, it's going to be updated automatically by the platform. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's just the evolution of the kind of the security features in terms of Key Vault and how we store our secrets and consume them. So, great to see, but that's just gone available. GA, Azure mobile app now supports Azure Government. Okay, great. So, I mean, for those of you that don't know, there is a general Azure public cloud service. Then you've got separate kind of isolated services to a certain extent that are predominantly for platforms like government platforms and things like that. So it looks as though basically the mobile app that they've got, I didn't realize it wasn't supported. So there we go. We've learned something new today. Apparently it's now supported. So that's good to see. So if you've got any government customers or you're working with them, you can evidently sign in with the Azure app into those platforms or those subscriptions and tenants. Okay, GA, general availability, ingest up to 10 files and blobs with the new Azure Data Explorer intuitive UX. Okay, great. So I mean, I'm not going to read through this one. I've not read this from start to finish, but again, it's great to see that we've got some more enhancements around the ADE there. Okay, Azure Automation is now available in Japan West. Superb. In preview, so the announcement of Power BI Embedded Gen 2 has gone into public preview. Okay, superb. So that's gone in. I'm not sure if they give any other bits of information in there. So yeah, so there's some how to get started guides in there. So of course, as always, just jump onto the the updates page, and there's some great links there with some preview information and things like that that you can have a look if you're interested in Power BI Embedded. Okay, OCR support for 73 languages in cognitive services computer vision has gone into public preview. That's amazing. I mean, 73 languages, that's absolutely brilliant to see that kind of coverage of essentially what is that kind of AI platform in terms of cognitive services. So the computer vision, I'm assuming this is to be able to kind of scan images or pages of text and have it get that converted. So that's amazing to see, and it looks as though we've got a link there to actually understand what those 73 languages are. So brilliant, awesome news. I think the final update from an Azure perspective at the moment is general availability. Soft delete for Azure file shares is now on by default on any new storage accounts. Okay, that's I'm presuming that's either come from the community or something, you know, that Microsoft has seen as being a necessity, because, you know, if you're going to remove files from an Azure file share, the fact that soft delete is on by default gives you that extra level of security that you haven't just gone and deleted something that you probably shouldn't have done. So there we go. There's our Azure news and updates roundup. I think what we'll do now, as always, like I say, I record these videos in one shot, so forgive me for not looking at the camera straight away, but you know, I just get the little screen overlays ready and things like that. So yeah, I think we'll just briefly touch on what's going on now in the world of the Welsh Azure user group. So next week it is our February event, so on Thursday the 18th of February, 6 p.m. GMT. I know I've spread this across social media quite a lot over the past month or so, but we've got John Saville, we've got Scott Hanselman. They're coming to give us a talk. I think John is coming to talk to us around sort of that redundancy and resiliency in Azure, and what happens when things fail. How can you best prepare yourself in Azure? And then we've got Scott Hanselman coming on to talk to us around the process he used to move his own personal blog from an old, I think he said it was 16, 17-year-old blog, move that and modernize that into a container and app service environment. And he's going to talk us through that approach. So I hope you'll agree that'll be some fantastic information, and great to see the support that both John and Scott are giving our Welsh Azure user group. Can't thank them enough. And again, I haven't forgotten to get back to everybody on the March Lightning Talks. It's just been such a busy week. I contacted one or two of you out there. I will absolutely get some comms out now over the next week and get the March event sorted out. So yeah, go and RSVP for our event, which is next Thursday. So Thursday the 18th, 6 p.m. GMT. It's a Teams event. So when you sign up through the the Meetup event, you can see that URL there, or just go onto my Twitter or the Welsh Azure Twitter, which is @WelshAzure. Go on RSVP, come and say hello, get involved. We got some great prizes. In fact, I think the prizes seem to escalate every session, so jump on. Yeah, like I say, we got some great Amazon voucher prizes. We got some other bits and pieces that we're going to keep on tap for the event next week. So yeah, thanks for that, guys. That is the Welsh Azure user group update. Okay, community callouts. Now, I wanted to spend quite a bit of time on this because, like I say, this week there have been a phenomenal amount of people that have really kind of given me information, given me some knowledge, and just generally been fantastic in the community. So I thought it best that we'll just jump straight on in. So first one I'm going to kick off with, although this isn't necessarily a community call out, it's really a great source of information. So I was having a chat with a few of the Microsoft CSAs on this, and Azure Citadel has been around for a little while now, and I believe the team, so this is predominantly being set up by a number of the cloud solutions architects in Microsoft on the One Commercial Partner team, which I tend to get involved with on occasion, obviously through my day job. They've rehashed this website, so I think they've put it to, I believe this is a Hugo theme. Basically, it's a series of reference architectures and videos and superb information, Git repos, And you can see here we go right across the stack of that kind of modern compute approach. So Arc, ARM templates, Azure CLI, how the fundamentals of Azure, networking, Packer, Ansible, policy, Terraform, WVD. I mean, there's literally such a wealth of information in there. I thought I would call it out. So if you want to have a look at that, it's azurecitadel.com. I appreciate you can't actually see that on my screen, but what can I do? Didn't really think that one through, did I? So what I'll do, I'll just call a notepad and I shall copy the URL so you can all see it. There we go, think on the fly. So it's azurecitadel.com, and I'll zoom into that a little bit. So yeah, go and check that out. Great source of information. Right, so off the back of my own conversation with last week, I had some great feedback. Really great to speak with Greg Asuti. Like I say, I had some great feedback both from LinkedIn, on Twitter. Really enjoyable session. And of course, that was the debut episode on for my Jonnychipz in Conversation with on Azure Live Twitch.tv channel. The guys over at Azure Live, as you know, if you're following them, you'll know how fantastic they all are. The expansion of that channel is going from strength to strength. So please, if I'd encourage everybody to go over, go and subscribe to the Twitch.tv. Go and say hello on Twitter. Get involved. Great bunch of guys, and they've got now, I think it's 5 or 6 shows, so content pretty much nearly on every day. So yeah, like I say, the conversation I had with Gregor is if you didn't catch it on Twitch, it's on my YouTube, it's on the Azure Live YouTube. Go and check that out because that was fantastic, and that was launched last Friday after I did my last weekly video. And this week we've got the amazing Jack Tracy. So Jack is a cloud solutions architect for Microsoft, and I had the pleasure of inviting him in on the show, and we had a great chat around kind of the journey through becoming an Azure MVP into actually working for Microsoft as a cloud solutions architect, what that was like for Jack and what his journey actually entailed. So it's really great insights. And then I think we go on and we discuss a lot around sort of infrastructure as code and cloud generally, and the challenges of getting into cloud if you're starting out. So yeah, that is going to be released later today. So check that out. Like I say, 6:30 p.m. tonight, GMT, Azure Live Twitch.tv channel. Jump on, I'll be on there, we'll be chatting. Like I say, that'll be launched. If you can't make that time, it'll be on the YouTube for consumption afterwards. Okay, first proper community call out, if you want to call it that, the Bradford Cloud User Group. So I mean, I've been in contact now for a fair while with both Shabazz and Imran, and I've not had the pleasure of speaking with Sarge directly, but the guys there have gone ahead and set up this Bradford Cloud User Group, and they've got their first event coming up fairly soon. So I thought I'd give them a shout out on my channel here, because I mean, the guys are fantastic. They're doing such a great amount of stuff in the community at the moment, and the platform they're setting up for their local area is great to see. You know, I completely understand what they're doing and what they're up to. I'm doing it myself, so really just want to encourage everybody to go and give the Bradford Cloud User Group a quick shout out, a follow. Obviously, whilst we're in this virtual scenario, everybody feel free to go and join the sessions. I think the more the merrier. They obviously need the support to get this great initiative off the ground and spread the word. So yeah, big shout out to the guys over there at the Bradford Cloud User Group, and good luck with the first session. Next community call out, I wanted to give a big shout out to Mert. You know, again, Mert is another guy I've been speaking with over the last few months. I had the pleasure of going on to his show, MS How To Live, to talk about enterprise scale a few months back. Just want to call him out really, because he does such a lot again in the community. He's such a great guy. He's got a lot going on at the moment, so I just wanted to give his channel a quick shout out and urge people to go over and give him a follow and a like. He's got, again, some great sessions. You can see, I mean, this is a session that was on yesterday, but that will be on demand now. He has some great guests on his show, and they go on and they talk about tech. They talk about specific areas of tech. But all in all, if you want to go and give Mert a follow MS How To as well, and go and check out his content, because it's fantastic again. Okay, on to Jamie Mcguire. So I had the privilege of just having a quick Twitter chat with Jamie earlier on in the week. So Jamie, being a software architect, I didn't realise until this week he's actually got this this platform that he's set up called Social Opinion. So socialopinion.co.uk, and I actually signed up to it. And what it is, it's a Twitter analytics platform. So I mean, it's really great actually when you get into it. And I know there's varying levels and tiers that you can get into. But I thought I'd give Jamie's platform a shout out, because if you are into the social media and you're doing the kind of thing that I'm doing, which, let's face it, I'm just practicing speaking to camera, doing a little bit of a presentation, speaking with people in the community and spreading the word of Azure and cloud services. Sometimes Twitter analytics are great to kind of see if you're going in the right direction, if you're getting a good level of engagement and things like that. And this is precisely what socialopinion.co.uk is for. So you can see my kind of the top tweets that you've had, how much your Twitter followers are growing, the kind of the numbers of replies, average per day. So you can kind of keep these metrics, and not for anything more, but to just try and guide the way that you do your content, because obviously you see peaks and troughs when you put varying different types of content out. So I just thought I would shout this out. Go and give Jamie a like, go and say hello. And I know he's open to feedback. So I think, apologies if I get this wrong, Jamie, but this is a platform he set up in his own spare time, essentially. And it's kind of taken on a little bit of a life of its own. It's a great platform. So I think he's always open for feedback. So feel free, go and sign up, go and say hello to Jamie, like and follow, and yeah, give him some great feedback, everyone. Okay, next piece. Azure Spring Clean. So Joe and Thomas have got the Azure Spring Clean event going on, and I believe they've got a call out for speakers ready for the March event. So I believe that the Azure Spring Clean is all around, predominantly, you can see here, so there's 5 base topics. Really I'm just trying to find here now. So really anything around kind of the Azure Monitor, Azure Cost Management, Policy and Security, or foundations. They're looking for speakers. So if you've got an article or a session that you want to put in, go on to azurespringclean.com, and I will sort this out for next time. But there's the URL, azurespringclean.com. You'll get to this webpage and just have a little read. But there's some great sessions. So I believe, like it says here, we got 5 base topics, 5 days, 5 weekdays of March. So Monday to Friday from the 22nd to the 26th of March. So they're looking for around about 5 articles per topic. So over those 5 days, probably 25 to 30 articles. So yeah, if you've got anything to submit or you'd like to speak or contribute, hit those guys up. Okay, so no community call out would be complete without a shout out to Pete Gallagher. I've been following the progression there. So Pete and Cliff have been working together. Pretty much. I think Cliff and Cliff's son have kind of developed and designed this this little casing here. But this is essentially a stream deck. Well, it's not a stream deck because I think I commented and called it a Pete deck, but I believe Pete's come up with a name for it now. Pico Producer. That's it. I can just about read that there. So what this is essentially, it's a macro, a shortcut key, and you can see that Pete has designed it so every time one of these buttons is pressed, there's a little LED that lights up, and you can see in the background here is OBS scenes transition. So he presses that button, scene transitions again. But basically these devices, I've got one down here, I can't pick it up and show you, but if you look at what a Stream Deck is, they're made by Elgato, and they are quite expensive, to be honest. They're a lump of plastic with a load of buttons on that you can program those buttons to do pretty much anything. And in this instance, Pete has designed one using a Pico Pi, which is one of these little devices here. He's programmed that, and it acts as a HID device, so you can plug a USB in, hook that up to your PC, and control things on your PC. So it doesn't necessarily have to be OBS. You can program it to control anything. So at the press of a button, you can have something happen on your computer. I think it's fascinating. So all of this white casing is 3D printed. All the buttons are 3D printed, and I've seen Pete and Cliff's conversations about how they're kind of modifying this. And if I didn't have so much to take on, I think this would be one I'd definitely be all over, because I think it's fantastic to see. So like I say, there's no community call out complete without a shout out to Pete and of course Cliff. And by the way, Pete and Cliff have got a new show on the Azure Live channel now called IoT, as in cup of tea. So follow it. I watched their first show the other night, and it was fantastic. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm always going to say that, but it really is. So anything IoT, go and hit those guys up, go and follow their channels, and jump on the Azure Live channel and catch up with those sessions as well. And staying on the IoT theme, I know that both Cliff and Pete had another IoT session with Benjamin Carvey. Yes. Oh, there we go. When was it? It was yesterday, day before yesterday. Yesterday. There we go. 2 o'clock yesterday. I didn't manage to catch it because we'll get on to why I didn't manage to catch that in a second. But again, a really interesting topic. So Laura Wan, just really about these devices that you can hook up together. I've not watched a session yet, but I just wanted to call that out because it's really getting into the realms of IoT that's really interesting to me. So hopefully you guys find that interesting as well. But the replay will be either on the Azure Live channel. I will probably be watching that hopefully later today at some point. But like I say, I'm on annual leave. But hey ho, we keep watching things. So yeah, go and watch that session. Final couple of call outs on the community. So my session with Mike Pfeiffer was released this week as well. Again, I've had some really good feedback, really positive feedback actually. I've had a few people message me and email me, tell me that they were really inspired and really enjoyed listening to that podcast. So I mean, I can't thank Mike enough for inviting me on, and I just he's such a great guy, Mike. Is the way about him, what he's got going on with cloud skills, it's fantastic to see. So I was really honoured to be asked on by Mike, but thanks for all the great feedback from that one. And if you haven't had a listen, drop onto the link. I think it's only 20-25 minutes or so. It's not a massively long podcast, but hopefully I kind of make a bit of sense. I'm hoping anyway. But yeah. So okay, to close off the community call out, this is kind of merged a bit with what I've been going up to with work this week and a bit on the side, this, that, and the other. But again, I was managed to get onto another Microsoft Open Hack. Now, this Open Hack is kind of close to my heart. This is kind of a lot of what I do with my customers at the moment. So it was great to jump on with a few guys from our internally from our managed services team, and I know Wayne said hello on YouTube the other day, so a big shout out and hello to all the guys up in Balborough. Keep up the great work, guys. I know you're all going through all the training at the moment, and we're heading towards hopefully becoming that Azure expert MSP at some stage. And keep going, guys. I think it's going to get there and it's going to be fantastic. But they're all working on upskilling, getting processes and practices in place at the moment for the Sheffield service desks. But a bunch of us dropped onto this Open Hack this week, and I just wanted to call out that it was a fantastic experience. And I know on Twitter and LinkedIn, a few friends have suggested that they weren't able to get on. All I can say is keep following, keep persisting, because they are a great source of knowledge. I managed to create 3 blog articles. Now, they're probably not the most well-formed blog articles, but hopefully what you'll see is it takes you through. So day 1, this is day 3 that I'm on here, but if you jump onto my jonnychipz.com website and just have a quick search for migrating workloads to Azure, day 1, day 2, day 3, it's a bit of information about what an Open Hack is. You can see this is the kind of diagram that we use. So we ended up, point of the hack was we have this bunch of VMs sat on-prem. We need to make some connectivity. We need to migrate it. Then we need to transform. So it's about the process from assessing to migrating to doing test migrations and having your applications fire up in test subnets and VNets and making sure it all works before you cut it over. And then the later challenges that are involved there are things like, transitioning from a SQL IaaS box into maybe a SQL or an Azure SQL database, or maybe even a managed instance, and using DNA, the database migration assistant, to kind of transfer. So it goes through all the series of events to do all of that good work, and then it finally closes off with transforming your IaaS, IIS, Windows hosted web services into app services. So if you've not seen that, hopefully you can have a little quick flick through. If I can get out of this screen, that is. Hopefully you can have a flick through this article and see what it's all about. Like I say, it's not massively well formed, but hopefully it goes into great enough detail to kind of show you the kind of processes involved with each step of the way. You can see we had our Contoso Finance app was up and running fantastically well. So yeah, so there's my community call out. I know we're touching the 25-minute mark now, which is massive. But yeah, I hope that kind of makes a little bit of sense, and you got something out of that. So on that note, without further ado, if I can get to the right page, we'll jump straight into Jonnychipz on the side. I'll keep this brief because I know we're kind of hitting the 20-25 minutes or so. But for those of you that watched last week's episode, you'll know that I finally got my laser set up on my Ender 3 Pro Creality 3D printer. And I just wanted to show this. I thought it was fantastic. It's not, by all accounts, it's not, you know, I need to practice and do a few more of these. But this is my daughter holding her little dog, Luna and Jessica. And I just thought it was fantastic. I bought these little bits of wood, just like ornamental with a bit of string. You can etch and burn whatever you like into it. So I've had a great little play with that. You know, I just find it great, you know, just to be able to kind of personalize gifts and whatever I'm doing. I'm going to find other uses out of this as we go. But just wanted to show you guys that after last week's episode, I managed to spend an hour and just get this little one burned off. Like I say, it's not top quality, but hopefully it certainly sets the idea of the kind of things that you can do with it. So good fun. Okay, so the main event this week has been my my gym downstairs where I am. Obviously, it's a garage. I've got 3 young children. They're all locked up. They're doing their work. They're very sporty kids. I probably should have done this a little while back, but it's only really now that we just decided to start to do it. So we converted the garage into a little bit of a gym. So I just put a few pictures up. There's my son. We put some RGB IC Gove light strips. You'd expect nothing less, I'm sure, from me. For no other reason than it's just, again, I find that doing this kind of thing draws you into a place. Like you said, I've got lights in my office. It just makes your environment, just for me, a little bit of a nicer place and exciting and infusing place to be. So I find this it's relatively inexpensive, although the RGB IC lights are a bit more expensive because they obviously they can be segmented and they can chase and move. So I started off with the mirror. So this is the mirror. There's 5 panels. It's Perspex, silver plated Perspex, so it's flexible. It's not true mirror, so there is slight distortion in there, but it's not the end of the world. We've got a couple of pieces of equipment, and in fact I've got to go after this video to go and pick up a weights bench. I think we'll see if we get a reply. So yeah, like I said, I've been up to putting that together. Started off with that mirror, did a little video there so you can get a bit of an idea as to what it's like in full swing. Good fun. And then we moved on to what I called phase 2, which is putting the lights at this little plinth level. So we put a little bit of a shelving all the way around with the kids could present their trophies from their sports and things like that. But yeah, I managed to get the lighting strip installed with great help from my wife and kids, of course. Just put a few photos up here just to show you the kind of things that we've got going on there. So it's right the way around the room, even down this other side as well. There we go, there's a few more photos. I mean, it's just, like I say, if you're in there, I mean, I need to obviously use a gym quite a little bit more myself, but you know, it just makes the space a nice place to be and just exciting. We got the TV up there to play music or whatever it may be that you're working out to. Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, the other thing, I made a little bit of a TikTok. It's more of a, you know, if I just play this a second, you can, there we go. So it's more of a fun thing than anything else. If you're not following me on TikTok, go and say hello, but just been having a little bit of fun with that. Yeah, and like I say, just on the TikTok note, I put a little post up the other day. If you are on TikTok, I'd love to have a bit of a follow and say hello. TikTok.com/@Jonnychipz. You'll find me there. Yeah, got videos of the robot arm, other bits and pieces. I'm hoping to kind of maybe dip into that medium a little bit more. Not immediately, but certainly over the next few weeks or months. So, sorry it's been half an hour, guys, but really thanks for sticking around, and I hope that video has been, you know, of use to you guys. I know there's been a lot going on again in the world of Azure this week, and with work, with annual leave, with there's always something on the go, but really, I'm so, sort of thankful for all you great guys out in the community for following me, for watching what I'm up to. And I really genuinely hope that some of the things I'm showing you back and obviously pointing you in the direction of are helpful to you. Like I say, for me personally, I think I'm looking to, at some stage, get on to a bit more of the technical content videos. I've got a list of blog articles and technical content videos that I'm looking to piece together. So hopefully I'm going to get some time to do that over the next couple of months now and start maybe doing some series of videos. But again, if you've got any suggestions or feedback, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear it. But there we go. This has been episode number 7 of Jonnychipz Weekly. Thanks again for tuning in and following along. Like I say, don't forget to tune in tonight if you're watching this now at lunchtime on Friday to the Azure live channel to watch In Conversation with Jack Tracy. If you're watching it on a replay, check out my YouTube links and you'll see the video there. But have a watch of that then. Hopefully you get some great insights out of that. But on that note, thanks again for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you next week.